Hi Karen. This is my chapter 3 of like the Lewis and Strong text kind of thoughts, or like the assignment that we do, kind of the blog posts, whatever you want to call it. Um, thought chapter 3 was really good. Kind of answered some of my questions I had from chapter 2. I'm sorry for doing this kind of back to back, but this is probably the best time I can do this right now. So trying to get better at doing these things on time. I thought chapter 3 was really good. It was really interesting, kind of how it talked about building text sets instead of just relying on one text. I thought they brought up a really good point about like academically. When you think of like an academic text, you think about like just like the textbook, and not so much anything else. So like not other texts that could be involved. I call it a challenge definition of text too, of like the lyrics to a song of like the Union soldiers or like the Confederate soldiers could be like used as like a primary source text in that social studies class. I thought that was really good. Something that really stuck out to me too was this part of like service code to text based situation model, and like they broke down like the Romeo and Juliet line, like "Oh Romeo, Romeo, where art thou, Romeo?" Like that little the little spiel they have, and how they take that, like the actual words, of, like what's being said, break down the text base of like, well, this is like what, like this is the context that you get from that thing. So like Romeo's Montague, Juliet loves him very deeply, and like the situation model where it's like even more context of like, and then she's asking Romeo to like deny his father, and like her love for Romeo is also kind of a manifestation of like her desire to break away from her family. And I think that's really important for teachers, especially for myself, because like I'm not the best reader. I it's kind of, I mean, this class, as much as like I'm learning to, as much as like this class has been teaching me to like teach how to read, it's also been teaching me how to read. To be quite honest with you, but I think it'll be good. I think that like text code to text base, or service code to text base to situation model will be really beneficial for like my social studies classes in the future, because like a lot of like historical text. I mentioned this in my last video though, but like a lot of historical text is written in like old English or like old language that we're not really accustomed to anymore. That can be kind of difficult for students to understand, I think. So I think that kind of like breaking it down from like this is what it says like word for word, this is what it means, this is like the context of like what it means, like the actual like depth of the layer. It's like surface layer, kind of like the more mid layer, like the core, what it's getting at. I think for social studies that's really important. I think one thing I'm a little concerned about this, with myself, kind of this textbook I made me realize is like reading that passage from Romeo and Juliet, like I probably wouldn't have thought twice about like what it was actually saying. Just kind of take it as like, oh, she's just waiting for Romeo, and I'm a little nervous about that. But I don't know if that's more because like it's an English text and not so much a history text. Because I feel like a history text is a little bit easier, where it's just like, all right, these are like the words of the Constitution, and this is what it actually is like saying. And this is like what it's saying, and this is what like the context of like why it's saying that. I mean, maybe it will be easier than I anticipate because like I'm interested in history. Yeah, that's kind of the big things I got from it. Um, just hoping to continue to learn. You know, I'm open. Like, I think my goal is like once I become a social studies teacher, is just to, like provide students with like sources, like primary source stuff, and like keep them engaged in reading. Maybe not every day. I know I kind of mentioned like like teachers now just like to use like PowerPoints and stuff and like explain over that because that's the easiest. And honestly, I don't think like PowerPoints are terrible. I think it's good for certain students. Like I know like when I was in high school, I really struggled with reading, like learning from a book or learning from reading. I was a lot better at like the PowerPoints and like just absorbing the information through that. Did it hurt my reading? I mean, probably. But at the end of the day, I mean, I did learn the material. I did learn the material. So I don't know, but I do think reading comprehension is something that needs to be developed, and it's probably gonna be an everyday thing going through readings, or maybe like once a week or once every other week things. Kind of having a reading to let the students like expand their reading comprehension level. All right, thanks for your time. And yeah, thank you so much, Karen.